Initiative turning the focus on representation in law enforcement, specifically striving to get more women to wear the badge. THV 11's Mercedes McKay shows us how one Central Arkansas Police Department is taking part.
The Jacksonville Police Department signed on to the 30 by 30 pledge on Wednesday. The goal is to reach 30% of women in police recruiting classes by the year 2030.
Part of our mission is to be more diverse and inclusive for everybody and to represent the community that we serve.
It's a movement to advance women in law enforcement, a movement that Jacksonville Police Chief Brett Hibbs stands strongly behind.
Women offer many benefits in law enforcement. Studies show that they use force less, there's a reduction in force, they communicate better, de-escalation is better.
And that's just the beginning of a long list that showed the impacts of a woman wearing a badge. According to Hibbs, nationally, women make up just 12% of law enforcement, but his force already has that number doubled.
We're going to continue recruiting in many different areas, not just women. But really what it's going to center is our community. We want to picture our community.
For Detective Sierra Lee, that community representation means everything.
Our police department doesn't need to be staffed by one specific race, one specific gender. It needs to be diverse just like our community is, so that we can adapt to the citizens' needs in whatever situation comes.
The pledge her police department took is something Sergeant Quatisha Ote believes will have a long-lasting impact.
I feel like by 2030, that 30% of women, I think that's going to change the culture of law enforcement.
It's a change that both Lee and Ote hope inspires the younger generation to take the oath to protect their community.
I think about my niece, she's 6, and she says that all the time. And if it wasn't for me and her seeing how I am as a law enforcement officer, she wouldn't say that I want to be a police officer.
My role model, when I decided I want to be a police officer, she is actually also a police officer. And so to do that for another little girl, little boy, anybody, it's heartwarming.
In Jacksonville, Mercedes McKay, THV 11 News.
Mercedes, thank you. Jacksonville PD is among 100 agencies taking the pledge. If you're interested in becoming an officer with Jacksonville, we've got the details for you on THV11.com.